Breaking just a few minutes ago, the jury in the E. Jean Carroll defamation case has ordered former President Trump to pay E. Jean Carroll more than $83 million in damages. Judge Andrew Napolitano, our senior judicial analyst, is joining us now. Judge, this is $18 million in compensatory damages, $65 million in punitory. What does this mean?
This means that Ms. Carroll and her lawyers were able to satisfy the jury that Donald Trump defamed her by saying something that he knew was false or was reckless in his disregard for the falsity, and that she suffered $18 million in economic loss, in pain and suffering, in emotional distress. This also means that Donald Trump did this willingly and knowingly, and he should be punished for doing it to the tune of $65 million, a truly staggering amount of money. Staggering amount of money. Wow. Can he appeal this? Yes, he can appeal it. He's got to pay that money into the court, or he's got to guarantee, have a third party guarantee that money, like an insurance carrier, based upon real estate that he would have to pledge.
Judge, I want to interrupt you for 1 sec. Our reporter, Christina Thompson, just ran out of the courthouse now. She joins us live from the court. Christina, what do you have for us on this?
Yeah, Carl, run is not an exaggeration. I sprinted out of that courtroom. The jury had deliberated for about 2.5 hours before they came to this conclusion, and they decided that they did want to award Miss Carroll $7.3 million in other damages, $11 million for her reputation repair program, and then that $65 million, that's for punitive damages. So the judge had asked the jury 3 questions for them to think over as they were making their deliberations. The first, did Miss Carroll suffer more than nominal damage? To that answer was yes. That's where you get the $11.3 million from. And then they asked the next 2 questions, which are both of those June statements that Trump had made, which is what E. Jean Carroll was essentially overall suing him for, was those 2 June defamatory statements that he made on his Truth Social account. And to those, both of the jurors did answer yes to both of those, that they do believe that he had malice and hatred when he did make those. And that's where that $83.3 million is coming from overall.
Wow.
Carl?
Christina, thank you very much. Appreciate it. Appreciate the report. We'll go back to senior judicial analyst and Judge Andrew Napolitano. Judge, you obviously said this can be appealed. He has to deposit the money in an account, though, to hold it as, like, you know, in escrow.
Correct.
Or whatever. The bigger question is, though, is this even remotely close to what you might think would be a fair ruling that you would have seen coming down the pipeline?
Well, no. And actually, before he files the appeal, he asks the judge to reduce it. Now, this is the same judge before whom another jury found that he sexually assaulted this same woman, and that jury ordered $5 million, and his lawyers asked that judge to reduce it, and he said no. It is unlikely the judge will reduce it. Most judges don't reduce jury verdicts. I would have, not because I know him and like him, but because this is grossly an exaggerated verdict based, I think, on animosity towards him or disenchantment with his politics. Just my gut feeling. But this also means that she would have to have demonstrated how she lost this money, and apparently she did so to the satisfaction of the jury.
Or to the satisfaction of political partisanship. Now, the other question here is she couldn't tell us when it happened. She said it happened in a dressing room at some point, couldn't tell us specifically what happened, however, was still able to convince this jury?
What you just said is so true. She couldn't say when it happened. She couldn't say exactly where it happened. This jury didn't hear any of that. This jury was told at the outset of the trial, you see that guy there, the former president of the United States? He sexually assaulted this lady. But you're not going to hear any of the evidence. You're not going to hear his defense to that, and you're not going to hear what she had to say about it because another jury found it. And then the judge said, you see that guy over there, the former president of the United States? I'm telling you, as a matter of law, he defamed her. The issue before you is not did he sexually assault her, is not did he defame her, but only what is the defamation worth. And Christina just broke it down for us nicely. They put an expert witness on the stand who said when this kind of defamation happens, you have to go through reputation repair. Reputation repair is costly. It's going to cost her a few $1,000,000 for reputation repair. She lost this gig. She lost that gig. She lost this assignment. Jury added all that up and said, okay, it's worth $18 million.